Hi, my name is Lawrence devincentz. I'll be taking you on a photo tour of the filming locations from There's Always Vanilla. This is the Gateway Center, buildings 2 and 3, on Liberty Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Ultimate Machine that you see in the movie was located in the Liberty Avenue Park, directly in front of these two buildings. There's me, I'll be in many of these photos. This is the Liberty Avenue Park. There's Lynn and Chris in the park. Things have changed, and yes, that happens over time. And if you go out here, there's not much to see. The park is right next to this, which is the Gateway Station, and it's very small, but it is where they filmed these scenes in the movie. This is a view of Fort Pitt Boulevard in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Chris rides his Jeep through the roadway there. It's interesting because this is also the location of George Romero's former office building and location of the Latent Image, his company. It's there to the right of the screen, very right there with the green sort of columns. This is Mahoney's Restaurant on Liberty Avenue, also in the cultural district of downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What I do when I go to these locations is I'll bring screenshots and I'll compare them to the location and I'll try to recreate the shots that you see in the movie. Then I post these things on Facebook or I put them on Blu-rays like this so people can see what the location looked like in the movie versus how it looks now in present day. Sometimes things change, sometimes they don't. It's pretty cool though. I think it's fun. I hope you think it's fun too. This is the former location of the Spotlight Lounge. It's now Zara's restaurant. In the movie, you'll see Chris and his father go here to meet some strippers and to have a couple drinks. And of course, Chris is looking for Terrific Terry. It's now a restaurant. Anybody can go there and have dinner. I couldn't get in at the time, but hey. This is very interesting. This is the North Station of the Sky Bus. There's my buddy Daz. He made this video slideshow for me. It's one of my best friends. What's interesting about this Sky Bus is that it doesn't really go anywhere. People who saw the movie and live in Pittsburgh know right away that this wasn't a real train. It only went in a circular track, and it was a demonstration model for its designers to sort of create a people mover, rapid transit system for the city of Pittsburgh. It was developed by Westinghouse, and it consisted of an elevated concrete track with rubber tires and a driverless car. Due to political opposition, it was never implemented, and eventually, after the Allegheny County Fair stopped operating in the park there, it was eventually closed up. Didn't offer any more rides, and the track was dismantled, and all that remains is this North Station. Although one of the vehicles still exists. It was found a few years ago, and it was restored and refurbished, and now it's on display at the Bombardier Transportation Facility in Pittsburgh. A form of this sort of Skybus prototype and its design survives in modern day people movers that you see at airports, such as Miami's airport or Detroit's airport. And like I said earlier, this was never adopted by the city of Pittsburgh, and they sort of went with a more light rail and heavy rail system of transit for the people and commuters of Pittsburgh. As you can see, I get into it. I like to recreate shots. I get into some of them. I tried to act like I was Ray Lane in that one previous shot, getting hit in the face by the turnstile. Anybody can go see this. This is a public place. Some places that I show you are not public places, so don't go to them. If use common sense. If you're going to somebody's house or home, or don't just walk in their yard. If somebody's around, talk to them and see if they'll let you take pictures. Just be respectful at these places. This North Station for the Skybus Terminal is located in South Park Township, Pennsylvania, in the South Park Game Preserve. It's right next to the dog park. So if you're ever in the area, check it out. It's pretty cool. That turnstile doesn't work. It won't turn. It's so rusted. When I go to these places, I try to recreate as many shots as I can. I hope it's not boring. I hope it's interesting. I find it very interesting to find them. I do a lot of research. Sometimes it's really hard to find some of these places because nobody remembers where they were, or there's no information on them, and I really have to dig and dig and dig. But I'm pretty tenacious, and I've found many, many locations from George Romero's films that other people have never found. Some are easy to find, some aren't. But it's just something that I do for fun. I never intended to put these on Blu-rays or anything like that. I just did it for myself. I thought it was fun, and I would share them on Facebook and wherever people wanted to see them. It's just fortunate that I've been able to hook up with Arrow and show these photos to all of you. That's the control station because, as I said earlier, the vehicles were driverless. So they had people manning the controls at these stations, and they sort of drove around the vehicles on this 2-mile circular track. As you can see, it's very grown over. It's now just used as a sort of park vehicle storage area. But it's still very cool to see that even this little bit still exists. The entire track is gone. And this is all that's left from the whole demonstration model that was put together back in the late 60s. There's the Westinghouse, a logo. All these locations that I go to, I have visited over many years. The photos you're looking at for this North Skybus station are composed of 3 different visits. So you might see slight differences. This is the former location of the leather shop seen in the movie. Ray Lane picks up some new duds inside the store, a new leather outfit or pants. It's now the tennis shop. I got a little crazy here. Had the tripod set up, and I figured I'm just going to do all different poses. And then I combined those in Photoshop. This is the former location of Fringe Benefits. In the movie, you will see our heroine, played by Judy Ridley, pick up some new duds in there. This is the Sears at the South Hills Village Mall in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. You'll see Lynn and Chris shopping and come out of a store there. Looks pretty much the same, except for the Sears logo and some new additions to the left there on the mall. This is the Highland Hills Apartments, still there in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, just outside of downtown Pittsburgh. This is where Lynn and Chris had the apartment together. Well, it was really Lynn's apartment. They pull up in the Jeep outside here, take their bags out. Chris jokes around. She's really not feeling it. Interestingly enough, that Rudy Ritchie, who wrote There's Always Vanilla, actually lived in the apartment they filmed in. It was also used in the movie The Booby Trap, aka Liberation of Cherry Jankowski, made by John Russo and Russ Streiner. They also used the same apartment, Rudy Ritchie's apartment, in that film. Thank you for taking this tour of the filming locations from There's Always Vanilla.